That fella told me you'd help. There's a bounty on her, $10,000.
You work for me, 3 ways on the bounty. I say what, I say when. You ever shoot a man?
No, I'm a Christian.
God knows how many this cutthroat has.
3 against now.
2 against. You're a Christian.
Something that I really enjoy about genre films is the production design, right? And there's a lot of unsung departments that don't get a lot of credit, but I do love what art departments do, especially when it comes to the styling of the characters and the props that you guys get to hold. But how does having good production design, especially in this film, help inform your performances as actors?
Yeah, you don't really know it until you put those shoes on. You know, that's sort of 80% of it for me is being in the environment, and especially with the other actors who you're playing across, what they're giving you, and again, yeah, what you're holding in your hands and how cold it is. Not much acting cold when it's 20 below zero. So yeah, horses, they're unpredictable. Some actors are unpredictable, so that's the fun of it. Yeah.
Yeah, everything in the movie. This is what is a perfect synergy of the makeup, hair department to props, like you said, and the costume. It has to have this alchemy. I'm always looking for so that you become one with the whole piece, and it helps create the look of your character. You can't have one without the other, you know. So we were fortunate, the team that came together on this movie helped everything. But yeah, I was weighted down by those belts and the costumes and just trying to figure out how someone lives, because these are people who survive in these times and don't get much sleep and then sleeping on some dirt, you know, and figuring it out. So I like playing that make-believe.
You're working with a book adaptation. You don't necessarily want to do an exact one-to-one, right? Like you want to make some details that, you know, separate it from the book itself to make it its own thing. So there are some changes like Cutthroat Bill, obviously becoming a woman, but I'm just curious for you, what was important to change that you thought would enhance the story, and what did you want to keep similar to the book?
I think what I wanted to do was keep the through line of the book. It's a road movie. You know, effectively, what I wanted to change was I wanted to contemporize the world, you know, with the characters. Look, Joe Lansdale was immensely gracious and blessed the film and said, look, listen, if you want to go out and do it that way, you know, we're in 2023, let's take some liberties. The biggest one was Cutthroat Bill. That was the biggest sort of change, and I felt that it was the right change to make, you know. I'm very proud of Juliette's work in the film.
I wasn't very goofy on this picture. I apologize in advance.
Sometimes I feel like the more serious the subject matter, the goofier the sets can be, for sure, because you need a little bit of a relief from it. But it depends on the day. We had such a warm and supportive cast and crew. The people up in Calgary, they know how to make a Western.
Yeah.
You know, they're the best at what they do up there. You don't want to make a Western in Glendale. Because no offense to Glendale, but it just doesn't have that sort of, you know, look to it. And these people up in Calgary that we had, this crew, they live and breathe that stuff because they go horse riding on the weekends.
Yeah.
And the landscape is unparalleled in terms of its feel for that movie like this. And snow. We were in there in February, March, and the snow never melts. And I think just snow looks so beautiful on film because it provides such contrast, all that white landscape too, like the dark suited characters in the white and blood.
It did look great. At first it was going to be sort of summer in Spain, which I would have loved.
Desert, right.
But I now am fully convinced of this choice. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Even though my cells didn't understand it. I had no point of reference for 20 below zero.
Yeah, no, it's a certain, once it gets 20 below, it's where people die in that weather, so you just gotta stay warm.
I wanted to see how cold I could get the actors and still get a performance out of them. Basically because of what you said, you love a good Western scene in the snow. You know, historically, a lot of Westerns have been shot there, you know, The Revenant, Unforgiven. I wanted to inhabit a very difficult, desolate time. I wanted, the audience to feel how completely bare naked that environment is.
You're the littlest man I ever seen.
You're the ugliest.